She is a celebrity fitness trainer and trains this year's Entertainer of the Year, Carrie Underwood. I saw that post of Carrie winning and saw how built she is. And I just had to find out her secret. And we're going to find out later today. She's also a former bodybuilder, has worked as a stunt woman. That sounds very interesting. She's from Minnesota and now lives in Atlanta, trains and teaches fitness classes, and she has burpees for breakfast. So I can't wait to find out and talk to our today's guest, Eve Overland. But right now, we're just going to watch a short clip. Welcome, Eve. How are you? Thank you so much. I am so thrilled to have you on the show today. I've just been following you on Instagram and reading the book and everything that you're doing with Carrie Underwood, but I am just thrilled to have you on here today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Pam. Thanks for inviting me. I'm super excited to talk about all things fitness. This is one of my favorite things to do, actually. So if you got time, I got time.
Oh, that's great. I know I love fitness. I know how important it is. I'd love for you to share, I read that you grew up in Minnesota. I grew up in Nebraska. We used to spend a lot of time up in Minnesota fishing at the lakes when I was young. And then I also read that you were a college cheerleader at the University of Minnesota. I'd love to hear your story of growing up.
Oh, well, I like to say that I came out the womb like moving. I was like always that very active child. Like you mentioned, I'm from Duluth, Minnesota, which is almost Canadian. And I was always very active in dance and gymnastics, and I was always in plays in the theater. And then I ended up going to the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis for college. That was a long time ago. And I was very active in college too. I was that kid in everything. Like if you read the yearbook, I was president of this, secretary of that, super overachiever kid. I've kind of calmed down since then, but cheerleader, diver. I was in a sorority in college, very active in the theater. I just was always into everything. And I loved being active, being creative. I have a degree actually in theater arts and dance. So it's an interesting evolution of my life and career. That is my growing up story.
Oh, that's great. Wanted to find out, I know after reading so much about you, as far as I find it really, really intriguing how you became a stunt woman. So you were, born and raised in Minnesota and very, very active. And then what, you decided to go to Los Angeles?
As one does when you are a theater major. And I actually was I still say I'm a professional actor because I still pay my union dues, but I'm SAG-AFTRA, well now it's one thing, and equity. So I was a professional actor for many years. And back in the day, Minneapolis, before Atlanta became the hotbed of Hollywood, Minneapolis had a big movie streak for a while. Best Buy's headquarters there, Target's headquarters there. So as actors, we got our money, being in the commercial. So just as I was always a very physical person, and I thought, and very expressive. I'm like, I want to be a stunt person. So I went to there I am. I wish I would have given you the one when I'm on fire. That's my favorite one.
I love that picture of you.
I went to a stunt school in 2001 in Seattle, which is still around.
Okay.
And then I just learned all like the basic skills, like getting set on fire, breaking through glass, and taking those picture punches. So yes, I moved to LA, not necessarily to be a stunt performer, but because I'm an actor and I looked young and I had to capitalize on that. But it's just an interesting, which I did do some stunts, but actually, Pam, what I did for about 6 years is I was a casting director for reality TV or casting. I worked in casting associate for like MTV, VH1. I did all the things. Bachelor, Bachelorette, Temptation Island, Paradise Hotel, Forever Eve. These are older. But they're bringing back Love Island, which is kind of Temptation Island. So everything comes in circles. So I cast reality TV for 6 years. I've done so much, Pam.
I think that's funny. We kind of have that in common because when, I went from living in Omaha, and then I moved to Baltimore to work on a big shopping center, and then got tired of that and saw an ad in the paper for the trying out for the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And I always wanted to be a famous actress. So I auditioned for that and then moved to Los Angeles. But that's interesting that you were in casting, because I was also in casting out in Los Angeles. Yeah, I wanted to find out how people got, cast for TV shows. So I went over to UCLA. I was probably the oldest intern, but worked for a couple casting directors, and it was great experience. One show we worked on was Melrose Place. And then the other show we worked on with Penny Marshall was when she was doing the TV show A League of Their Own. So both of those positions in casting really taught me, which is very valuable in today's work environment, is all about rejection. But I love that you did casting. That's great.
Reality TV, but what's interesting now, back in the day, and you know this, we did not have the Facebooks, we did not have the Instagram, we didn't have barely even MySpace. So as casting directors, associates, that's why I love Dallas so much, because you always find the characters in Dallas. But we actually had to pound the pavement. So we went to all the malls and the Best Buys and the, Home Depots to find the guys and all the, so we actually had to pound the pavement. Now I think casting, it's still probably very challenging, but I think you get like a lot more video submissions than what we had back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But so much in common and so much has changed,
Yeah, definitely back there. Cause I was doing it in 1994. And at that time, people would have to drop off the actors' pictures, and I would have to go through, a stack of about 1,000 of them before the casting director, before, we would audition for them. And definitely times have changed. So, but it was, I definitely learned a lot from that job. Wanted to find out, tell us about that call that changed your life in 2009.
It did. I was, I lived in LA for 10 years. And I like to say I gave it a good run, and I still love it, and I consider it, home. I feel home whenever I go back there. But it's hard to be a forward thinker, I think, in LA, for a young person. Like, I had all these interests. I was teaching classes. I was waiting tables. I'd stopped casting by 2009, but super active. That's when I got more into the bodybuilding fitness space. But I just know that I needed something different. And I think that when you open yourself up to possibilities, and I'm not trying to be all woo-woo or anything, but I knew I needed a change, and I didn't know what that looked like. And so actually, when I saw this question, I was like, I entertained going back to school, and I signed up for, I had taken American Sign Language in college as my second language, which I loved, also very expressive. And so I'm like, I'm going to go back and get my interpreter's license. So I'd already tried to make the shift, knew I needed a change, which is a very vulnerable place to be. But if you're feeling lost, you have to, find little ways to, get you out of the rut. So I signed up for class. I probably made it through like 4 classes, and then I got this call. And it probably sounds a little bit more dramatic than it was, because I was teaching Krav Maga, which is an Israeli martial art. And we had a lot of higher profile actors, entertainers, even business people that took self-defense, not just because it's kind of awesome to know, but great workout. So it was just a matter of referral. And I was saying, like, back in the day with casting, we had to pound the pavement. We had to meet people, shake hands. So it was just kind of how it is in LA. It's knowing who you know and being a good person. So how I got the job with Carrie, people ask me all the time, is kind of crazy. Somebody knew that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew Simon Fuller's assistant's personal trainer knew my ex-boyfriend who called.
Oh, God.
It's kind of, you know. So I would like to say that I was, you know, a super celebrity trainer and they called me. No, I was just little Eve, really good at working out, you know, trainer. I wasn't like full time, was I? Not really. I was still waiting tables. So again, it was about who you know. I got it on my own merit, but getting that call to move forward with the process to, you know, meet all of Carrie's people and then meet her personally and then, you know, and then saying, hey, you want to go on tour? And I'm like, yes. I mean, it was terrifying because like, what do I know? You know, I'm not a celebrity trainer. I'm just me. But I had to like say, you know, you had to be confident and you had to, you know, learn as you go. But it apparently worked out for me. 10 years later, we're still together.
Wow, that's great. So you were teaching, you know, classes in Los Angeles, and then just through, you know, through those connections, had different people, and then have, you know, it's amazing how things do happen like that. And I always think there's a reason for everything, and things happen. And
I think I was just open. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think, you know, I don't know why. I think I was just open to something and I knew I needed something. And, you know, something other bigger than me was looking out for me that day because I was just like a blind, hey, do you want to, you know, maybe go on tour with somebody we can't tell you? I'm like, huh? I'm like, I'm just, you know, I taught group fitness. I was a certified trainer, but I wasn't doing it full time, like I said. Had a lot of experience because I've been teaching group fitness since the 90s. But yeah.
wow, yeah, that's great. So I forgot to look up, you know, when Carrie, I've been, you know, I've always followed American Idol, and I've always been a big fan of hers. And like I said, her just winning recently Entertainer of the Year, and everyone was talking about her legs and how, because she wore that dress and one leg, how incredibly built she is. And I've noticed it, you know, I'm a lot older than her, but I'm like, I want legs like that. And I want to find out how she got legs like that. And so that's how I came across your name. And I just think it's great that, you know, for 10 years that you've teamed up together. And I know she has this, you know, book, Find Your Path, and you're in the book. And then you have the app that you helped or you collaborated with together, Fit 52, which I recently just signed up. And, you know, I work out every day, but having that app just, you know, just recently now, what a great app. I'd love for you to, you know, tell us about how you came up with the app and how you created Carrie's incredible legs and arms. I mean, she's fit from head to toe, but definitely her legs.
Well, I can't take credit for, you know, genetics, but I can take credit for, you know, just finding ways to make fitness fun and sustainable and something that you want to do, you look forward to do. Fortunately, Carrie doesn't have a problem with any motivation. She loves to move. She loves to work out. So do I. So that's a big hurdle, you know, is to have a client that loves what they do as much as you love it. So because of her passion for fitness and like, it just shows through not only with her beauty inside, but out. So she, her genetics play a part, but we created, well, the app is essentially something that we conceptualized many years ago. It is called Fit 52. And the protocol is also in the book, Find Your Path. And it's a simple way to get a good full body exercise with very limited space, limited equipment. Of course, you can take it anywhere. You can use all the toys that you want. But Fit 52 is essentially a card game. And I introduced Carrie to this card game when we first started training together, just because it's fun to mix it up, not just sets, reps, the normal protocol of a workout, but it's just fun to mix it up. And she's always loved it. She's a numbers person. Did I make up the game? No, it's probably been around for a bazillion years, but so have I in the fitness industry. But we have made it, refined it, created it to make it our own program. So it's a card game. There's 52 cards in a deck, and each exercise is represented by a suit. So let's say hearts or squats, and you pull a 5 of hearts, you do 5 squats. But the app, is like it's essentially dealing the cards for you and coming up with the exercises that would work in the program. And so there's a beginner, intermediate, advanced. We're always adding new exercises. We're always doing, I'm always working on it, putting in new exercises, finding other trainers, other models, doing exercise descriptions. So I think it's been a great thing. It came out a good time during quarantine also, because then our whole world pivoted, even though I'd done online training, but like people that were used to going to the gym, it just kind of gave us a little less panic. Like, now what? We have this resource called Fit 52, and it's been very well received. I hope you like it. It's fun. It's fun to mix it up. And we're like I said, we're constantly refining it and making it better, and it can only get better.
I know since I recently signed up, but I did sign up for the extreme, which I got notified this morning at 8 a.m.
Time to work out, Pam.
That's right. And the music came on.
It wasn't me personally calling you, but I will if you need
it. I do. I love working out. I know we're just recently talking about how, it's now breast cancer awareness, and last year I was diagnosed, but I have to say the number one thing, and my doctors commented that, before being diagnosed, I was in the best shape of my life. And thank goodness for that, because after surgery, I wasn't able to use my arms or get up. And thank goodness I did so many sit-ups. So I'm so thankful for, like yourself, fitness trainers. Tell us about how you work with your group training or individual trainings. And, you're based in Atlanta, and I saw, you go back to Nashville. But how does some of your, what are you doing or working on right now?
Well, other than constantly evolving the app, I don't teach group fitness so much anymore. There are a couple studios in Atlanta that I'll sub at, which I love, but I just haven't. I've taken the pivot from, I love group fitness. I'll always teach it, but obviously quarantine hasn't allowed us to do anything. But right now I am essentially doing all my coaching and training online. I do special events, corporate events, private events. If somebody wants a smaller group class, a lot of one-offs. But the majority of my client base right now is an online platform, and it's not at all like Fit 52, but I send my clients their workouts via a personal training app, and then we'll have Zoom, girl Zoom meetings with working out with all my clients. So I'll do special workouts. I also do private clients one-on-one via Zoom as well. So when Carrie and I aren't on tour, that's how we would train. Now that I've moved to Atlanta, we would train via Skype or Zoom. Now we're both just doing Fit 52, but I do one-on-one via the magic of the interweb. Yeah. And I have my online coaching business. So that's what's keeping me busy.
That's great. I wanted to find out, my son recently, he's a sophomore in college out at San Diego State and really interested in fitness and nutrition and all of that. Not sure what he'll end up graduating in, but what would you say to people who want to start a fitness business? How would you recommend, getting started?
Well, Pam, since I told you I didn't think that I would end up as a full-time, celebrity personal trainer. It just, like I said, was a natural evolution of opportunities that just came my way, and here I am. And I would also say that I could probably use some business advice from your son, because as we were saying before, our medium of our business card, if you will, our social currency is social media. It's the Instagram. It's the, being very visible. It's doing the newsletters. It's giving your free content. And for somebody like me, who's been doing this a long time, that was probably like one of my hardest pivots, is to realize that my business is promoting myself on Instagram, on, the socials. So I feel like younger people might have a way better time starting a fitness business. I don't know anything about owning a brick and mortar fitness studio. And I think that a lot of trainers right now, if they weren't forced to because of COVID, we're already kind of pivoting to an online coaching platform like I do, or, group sessions on Zoom, or one-on-one personal trainers on Zoom. It's kind of great because, I can train people. I could train you in Dallas, and I'm in Atlanta. So the biggest thing that I do, I'm kind of a purist, I think, kind of old school, but be very careful with, your education, not your education, but who you lean into for advice, because the fitness industry and nutrition and supplements is the wild, wild west. You get so much information at you. You just got to cut out the noise and do your homework about who you choose to follow. Find your path, as they say. But definitely get a national certification. But I say, just get out there and take as many classes as you can. Meet as many people as you can. It's hard to take the personal out of personal training. So I didn't go to school. I did go to school, but I don't have a kinesiology degree or biology degree, or, I got a theater degree, which is, got to know a lot of anatomy and dance also. But even if the most sciencey things, it's the communication that's what's going to set you aside. It's your personality and the way you're able to communicate information. Now, people ask me again, how do I become a celebrity trainer? And I said, I don't know how I became one, so I can't help you. But in the sense that everything is kind of going online, if you think that you're going to get your national certification and then create an online fitness business, awesome, amazing. But I really encourage people to train people in person. I train people in person since 1994. I train, you have to know the human body. I can make up an amazing, program for you, but if I don't know people, if I don't know anatomy, it's different. Please train people in real life before you go into just an online space, or do it at the same time. That's great. And just because you have a six-pack doesn't mean that what you do will work for your clients. The more people and the more experience you have to learn that what works for you doesn't work for you, or for you, or for you works for you. So you have to be open to experimenting with all kinds of protocol, and just be a good, fun, honest person. And I think that shows through. My motto is love what you do and magic happens.
So. Oh, I love that. And you can definitely tell on your Instagram page, you're working out and love seeing your dog and your cat and your interaction. And you can just tell exactly what type of person you are, and definitely would love to, work out with you sometime. So it definitely shows.
Yeah.
So I know you've done a lot of stuff. What is on your bucket list to do? What's your biggest goal or on your bucket list?
I love that question, and I don't know. I feel like, should I know that? And Pam, you and I have had, so much life experience already. I feel like I'm very well traveled. I've seen some amazing things. Like, I'm not want for anything. So I guess my bucket list, I've done the skydiving, I've done, the obstacle course races, I've been set on fire, for Pete's sake. So I would say if I were going to pick like a fitness bucket list, it would probably be like a legitimate mountain hike, like a Kilimanjaro kind of situation, Machu Picchu, like a legitimate hike. Professionally, probably a lot. I just, I continue to, grow and build my business. So is it a bucket list to always want to keep growing? Because I don't think you ever get there. You might be able to settle, sit down for a minute or, feel comfortable financially, but it's not necessarily about the finances for me. I don't, have a house, but I don't have a nice car. I don't have fancy things. I pretty much only wear CALIA because that's Carrie's clothing line, and I'm kind of loyal. So, I don't really need anything, but professionally, just for me to get my crap together. And
I love the hike idea. I think we need to get a group of women together, and you can lead us on a hike and see how far we get.
I'm not qualified to do that. I'll go with you, but I'm not qualified to lead anyone of any. I mean, I'll encourage you. I could probably come up with some training ideas, but I think it's one of those things that I need somebody else to tell me, okay, Eve, time to climb that mountain. I'm a little bit more extrinsically, did I say that wrong? Motivated. Like if I have a deadline, I'm really good under pressure. I get my stuff done if somebody's telling me to do it. I have problems with if it's not smoking good in my face, it's just like creating content to move my own business forward. It's been a challenge because I didn't grow up. I don't have a business mindset, So I guess, again, professionally get my crap together. And I really want to write a book, not a fitness book, but maybe a memoir, maybe something witty. Maybe we could tell our life story. You should write a book too.
I have 2 books out.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
So,
but writing a book is like climbing a mountain. I contributed to Find Your Path. I did quite a bit, but writing a book, girl, congratulations, because it was a lot for me, even if I was just a contributor to the book. So
yeah, I was going to ask you about writing a book. My first book is 1 Cent Lemonade, $2 million deals, and 25 jobs I've had and 25 lessons learned. And
I like that. I like that one.
And it's just different tips on, things I wish I would have learned a lot sooner in the business world. And, just how we talked about casting and learning about rejection. I mean, all that kind of stuff. I actually have a degree in interior design. I wanted to be a famous hotel interior designer. And right out of college, I did get a job offer to do hotel design for the Marriott Corporation, but I ended up staying in Omaha and worked a different position. But you definitely need to write a book and get started on that. Yeah, I did read your section in here, and this book to me is incredible. I just really started reading it, but the way it's made and the pictures in it and all the food and the fitness, and there's so much. This is just a wealth of information on Find Your Path and the information in it. But yeah, definitely you need to write a book, Eve.
I just need to sit down. I need to do a lot of things, Pam. I don't sit still very well. I love to write. I'm actually a good writer, and I write a lot of workout programs and stuff like that. But it's just a matter of doing it. It's like, look, a squirrel. So again, maybe I need somebody to say, Eve, write a book, which Carrie's team said, Eve, help write a book. So I had an assignment. So it's just, I think it'll come. I think it'll, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, And I think women are probably guilty of it, but we do so much for other people, and it's time to do more for yourself. And I've realized that too, of less stress and more self-care. So I'm definitely looking into that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think now is a great time to focus on, and I think, the time, that we're on right now, this quarantine time maybe did add a lot of anxiety. So obviously exercise helps, but like to not forget that self-care is so important, because if you can't show up being the best you, how can you be the best you to other people? And it's not selfish. You know that, Pam, but like I talk to clients all the time. It is not selfish to carve out time for yourself. It doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't make you like a lazy employee. And I mean, exceptions to every rule, but take care of yourself so you can, show up and be your best self for other people.
I saw somebody just posting on Facebook, and they wanted to know what the best pill that they should take for depression. And I had to write, the best medicine is to go out and take a walk, and so I'm so glad that you're out there in the world in fitness and changing, people's lives one at a time, because it is the number one thing that everyone needs is fitness. So I just think what you're doing is so amazing. You are a rock star.
Oh, thank you. Just to piggyback on, you were saying like fitness is important, but what I like to say, fitness, and this is a great nugget for your listeners, fitness can be whatever makes your heart happy. It doesn't have to be running a marathon, doesn't have to be HIIT training, it doesn't have to, doing a million burpees. What I like to say is movement in a way of creative expression. But whatever gets you moving, find why you were born to move. I was born to do burpees, but you might have been born to, garden or go bowling or golfing or, fitness or Zumba. I don't care what you do, because if you don't love what you do, then you're not going to stick to it. It doesn't matter what you do as far as fitness goes. You can do 552 ab, you can do CrossFit, you can, find whatever motivates you. And if that is your kids, that's great. You want to be able to move with them for as long as possible. So whatever fitness is, it doesn't have to be what I tell you to do or what I like to do, just as long as you're moving and you're happy and you're healthy. It can be anything. It can be anything.
That's right. Nothing is, as they say, your health is your wealth, and nothing is more important than that. And I love challenging myself. Last year I did my first 10K, and then I did something crazy. They have one of the tallest office buildings in Dallas for the Lung Association, climbed up 45 floors, and I think I did it under 12 minutes. And here I thought, it's amazing just what you limit your mind to. I thought, I am going to die after, 6 flights or 6th floor. And I made it to 45 floors in under 12 minutes. So
I want to do that.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Who says that? I'm like, that's something maybe that's a bucket list to climb up the building. What about?
Yeah.
Is that something that anyone can do? Or was that like a charity event or just like a?
Well, they actually have groups all over the world that you can climb different office staircases of different office buildings all over the world. And there's several groups and several of them on Facebook doing that.
Maybe that will be our training for Kilimanjaro. We're starting Dallas. We're going to do your through the building in 12 minutes or under.
That's perfect. I love that. Yeah, I love that. So anything else before we go? I so appreciate your time, and I just really want to thank you for responding and sharing your story and your success. Like I said, I just think you're a rock star.
Oh, thank you. Well, if anybody, I'm easy to get a hold of. If anyone has any questions, like I said in the beginning, Pam, I could go, if we're talking about fitness, we're talking about health, we're talking about, I love answering questions. And I need this sort of thing too. It keeps me fresh, right? So if any of your followers or viewers have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm at Eve Overland Fitness on the Instagram. I'm on Facebook, or you could, my website is just eveoverlandfitness.com. So you can, like Pam, reach out to me on my website. Just feel free. Please, please, please send all the questions. I'm here for you. Happy to help. Yeah. And thanks so much for chatting.
Oh, thank
I
you.
feel like I've known you forever.
Definitely. We'll have to connect, and we'll have all of your contact information. We'll be posting all this on, my social media. And have a great day. And thank you so much, Eve. We will be in touch, and we're going to find a staircase that we can climb. I love competition, so I know you would outbeat me, but
I don't know. I haven't been training like that.
Well, I think
that's a different kind of cardio going up those stairs for sure.
Yeah, doing all those burpees that you've done. After I saw those burpees, I'm like, oh Lordy, those burpees. Everybody loves those burpees, so I'm glad.
But I don't think everyone loves them. I do. It's just because I'm good at them. That's why people ask, like, why do you like burpees? I'm like, I'm good at them. I'm an up and down kind of in space. I mean, I can run. I'm not the best runner. I'm certainly not the fastest runner, but whatever you like to do. I like burpees. You might like running. Just as long as you're moving and you're happy.
That's right.
That's really all that matters.
Well, thank you so much, Eve. I appreciate it. And I am off to go work out.